Cancel.
Schweezy.
Why are some teenagers nice or decent while others are total fuckheads? I do see this. I'm a grown man now. And even, I think it started when I was, like, in college, maybe, like, sophomore, junior year, where, like, I'm not interacting with anyone in high school anymore, so it's not, like, a big deal for me. But then you, like, see a bunch of kids hanging out, and, you know, and it just reminds you, I mean, for an adult like myself, like, you walk into, like, you go into a bathroom, take a shit, you're worried, like, some fucking teenager's gonna be like, this dude's taking a shit! And you're like, no, don't tell anyone! Stuff like that. So, yeah, why are some teenagers decent? Why are they total fuckheads? Well, the thing is, the difference is, like, why are some adults nice and decent, and why are some adults total fuckheads? I think the big difference is adults now live in the real world, and the real world requires you to at least try to be decent for the most part. But if you want to work retail, I'm telling you, if you're a shitty human being, and you know, like, I'm a terrible person, and I want to be mean to people all the time, work in retail, become a manager in a retail store. I'm telling you right now, that's the perfect job for you, because every time you work a retail job, it's like, really, the work isn't that bad, it's just the bosses are total fucking assholes. And that's why people do that shit. So, like, I generally think you're like, you have so much potential. Like, you went to college, you have a degree, why are you working, like, as a manager at this retail job? Like, you could be working somewhere way better. It's like, I just like being a dick to people. That's why I work in retail. You're like, oh, someone really needs this day off? Fuck you. Fuck your parents dying. We need you to work today. Who fucking gives a shit if your dad's dying? We need you to work today. You know, it's total mess. Anyways, go back to the teenagers. Why are teenagers total fuckheads? I think there's a lot of different factors in regards to, like, why some teenagers are nice. Some have good parents. Like, you know, how you have some, you know, I have friends with kids, and, you know, you're nice to your friend's kid, and you give them shit, and they're like, what do you say? And they're like, thank you. And a lot of times, because it's supposed to establish in their mind that, like, oh, this is how I become a decent person and not a horrible human being. That's why I think it happened to a lot of boomers. They didn't have good parents, and they become horrible human beings. Like, guy at McDonald's messed up my order. He's like, you suck. I hope you die of cancer, burn in hell. But then you're a decent human being. Hey, man, I think you just messed up my order. Can I just get a new one? Yeah, sure, man, no problem. And, like, they don't care, you know, unless you're a piece of shit. So I think a lot of times parenting can come involved, and, you know, sometimes you have good parents. Sometimes your parents are shit, you know? That's just how life is. Sometimes you just have shitty parents. Nothing you can do about it. Take it up. You had to take it up with God, you know? God knew if I wasn't fat, I'd be too powerful, because fat and depressed. God knew God wouldn't have made me fat and depressed. He knew I would become too powerful because I'm so fucking funny. But yeah, so, like, you know, and then some kids, you know, are just assholes because they have, like, kind of a shitty home life too, and they have to take it out somewhere. Like, you know, when you're an adult, you learn that you, like, when you have a shitty boss, like, you can just get drunk afterwards, and then if you don't beat the shit out of anyone when you get drunk, it's not a big deal. But, like, yeah, I think it's just, you know, I think there's just so many factors when it comes into, like, teenagers and whether they become good people or bad people. And I think a lot of times parenting, their home life, et cetera, et cetera. But then, you know, sometimes kids are just assholes. And, you know, there are those kids who are just meant for prison, you know, like, especially as an adult. Like, you don't fully realize it as a kid, but you kind of get it. But you're an adult, you're like, yeah, that kid was always destined to go to prison. Like, the kid who's destined to go to prison. It's just who they are. So, there's so many reasons. But, yeah, you'll meet the nice ones. I know I haven't in a while, but I was talking to some kids that, like, in the local high school about, like, music and stuff like that, you know, for fun and goofing around, you know, and I, like, tell them about everything. You know, it's good to advise kids. I'm like, those kids are nice. And then but if I went to the local gym, I went to the PE class, like, a lot of little fuckheads in there, because and then sometimes it's like, well, they're good at sports, so we gotta let them off easy. Schools are weird. Teenagers are weird. Yeah, I think that. And remember, there's a lot of fuckhead adults too, so let's not be too stingy.
Come on, Mark, don't be stingy.
Hey there, you just checked out a highlight from Cancel Schweezy. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you learned something and that you are now a smarter individual. Just so you know, we have full episodes and other many highlights available now. Click here for the next best thing that you can go check out as well. And make sure you press that subscribe button and press that notification bell. That way you get updated anytime we make a new post or anytime that we make a new highlight or full episode. So thank you, honk if you love butt drugs, and stay awesome.